Hello, my friends. It's Nanny, and I'm just popping in to bring you up to date, just keeping you informed of our safety. Moosey and I are fine. We are safe from fires and no winds lately. We are still staying vigilant as they inform us that this will go on for a couple more days. So I appreciate your prayers. Now, I did go outside and do some filming, and you can see some of the San Gabriel Mountains in the back. It seems quiet. It's early in the morning. There's just a lot of haze out there in those San Gabriel Mountains. We are east of about 10 miles east of the fires. If the winds change, it would come this way, but we're hoping it won't. I'm out in the patio I say the patio, it has no cover now, but Shamu and I sat out there for a while and talked. So join us on the patio. I appreciate you being here with us. I sit here today on my patio where it is so calm and not a palm tree or tree is stirring, and it's hard to believe which is still going on here in Southern California with our fires and destruction. We are up on a hill and we can see down over the San Gabriel Mountains. As a matter of fact, those mountains that you're looking at are the San Gabriel Mountains, and those are across a basin and above us. We are part of the LA basin, but to the east of the fires and to the south of the Pasadena fires, I would say, I don't know, 15, maybe 20 miles. I don't know, maybe less than that. I know it only takes me 20 minutes to get up to Pasadena when I drive up the freeway. But unfortunately, from what we hear, there's going to be high winds again. And it's hard to believe that this is going on so long. Today is Sunday, and this started Tuesday with the high winds. And they say the high winds are still going to be here and probably at their highest on, I think they said Tuesday, going on to Wednesday. People, I know you've all been watching the televisions, and it's so sad to see these families who were trying to get back to see their homes, or at least what's left of them. I just can't believe the wonderful things that are going on in the way of donations for all these people up in the Santa Anita Park. People are dropping off food and water and clothing, and it's just unbelievable. Now, we only heard from our son Billy once. They came down from Idaho with a convoy of about 30 engines and men, strike teams, and trucks full of equipment. From what I heard, the past 2 nights, they've been here, I guess, 2 nights, and Billy has been on the Pacific Palisades fire. I know the fires are still going up in the hills. It seems to be hard to get up there, and I can't believe how they get the engines up there. Come up and sit here with me. Shamu has been confused too. Shamu is exploring. Where are you going? What are you looking at? You're enjoying? I know, the patio's gone. Looking up. I don't know what's up that tree. Yeah, you used to climb up there when you were younger. It's different, isn't it? She has a nice vantage point here. She has a nice little lookout here down over the valley. She's been sitting here lately, but still very confused. You can see the look on her face. I'll never get over that, calling him a she. And just wants to kind of stay near me. You know, you think of all the pets and all the animals that have been evacuated and saved, thank God. And what it must do to these poor animals, the confusion. And I know that even Shamu knows something's going on, even though he's not involved in it. what went on here. We lost the patio that I'm just sitting out in the air here on the patio, nothing overhead. We did have the grandkids here the past couple of days cleaning up the mess. This part looks pretty good. This has been cleaned up here. They've done such a great job of helping. Shannon has swept and gotten up a lot of the pottery, and we've righted some of the tables. Perhaps one day soon I can get to transplanting my cactus, which I've started. This looks so bare without the tent, without the canopy. And the tree which hovered over the patio, thank God that's still there. We have lost in the past one or two of these old trees. Went down the hill in the past, but this one's still here. So the patio is pretty well cleaned up, waiting for rebuild. One of my little fairy gardens, I just trimmed it a little bit. Matthew's pot that he gave me, which I love, my blue pot, survived. Silly to talk about things like this when people have lost homes. But I'm just trying to take care of what went on here. Margie's husband, Mike, and her son, Aiden, did a wonderful job of cleaning up. And they dismantled the patio, which was upside down on top of my car. That was destroyed, and the remnants are sitting over there waiting to go. And Shannon has been sweeping up debris and ceramics and pots and pans. We still aren't finished, but you know, I'm not worried. There's no rush to do all this. As a matter of fact, Aiden was going to come today. Ooh, your feet hurt me. Aiden was going to come today and do some, trying to put Christmas away. But I don't care. When that happens, I'm in no rush. I don't even have the energy to even think about it right now. Moosey is fine. And we're just staying put. There's no need to go anywhere. And I want to thank all of you for all your responses to some of my questions. My main question in my last video, if you've watched it, was, what would you do if you were told that you had to evacuate right away or within an hour, and that's all the time you had? And some of the responses were amazing. Of course, everyone said yes, they would get together passports and important papers and medications. But some people, whoops, I'm stuck on my, some people went ahead to just go all out to the point where I think you probably would have needed a moving truck to take some of the things everyone said they would take with them. Now, being of the age of 87, Moosey and I have talked about what would we take, and I told you about the things that I would take. Most of them were very insignificant, but involved memories, keepsakes, and things that I thought our children and our grandchildren would want. I guess the air, excuse me. I know that our area is under red flag for, I probably shouldn't even be out here, although I don't see any more ashes on the ground. And I don't see smoke, but I suppose the air is still not great. But I really had just the things that brought memories. Of course, I thought of certain pieces of jewelry. Almost everybody thought about a few pieces of jewelry that they had. And I mentioned things that Moosey had given me, jewelry that the kids had given me when they were kids, sentimental lockets and hearts. And I neglected to mention my turquoise and silver jewelry, which I know you know I love. You know, the sun is just right up there, just in my eyes, but I think I can get a little closer. I don't want to fall off my wall here, or I would go down the side of the hill. But as you know, I do love my silver and turquoise jewelry. It goes back 30, 40, 50 years. Moosey excuse me. Moosey started giving it to me years and years ago, and I've collected quite a bit of it and do love it. And I've actually given some of it. I did give Margie a squash blossom. I've given Colleen some of my turquoise rings. And I believe Debbie has some earrings and things too. I still love to wear a lot of it, so it won't be going until uh, my time comes, the rest of it. But in the meantime, that's the main jewelry that I probably would grab. And the rest of it is the keepsakes, the photos, and of course, uh, medications. But I wouldn't take things like, I remember after a very severe earthquake at one point, I'm going to try and get out of this sun for a minute here. Okay, I'm in now. No more coughing. And I guess maybe I'll tell the rabbit hole story about the earthquake preparation. I started to tell the story outside. I don't know how long it was. We've been here about 20 years. And shortly thereafter, we started getting some more earthquakes. And one was rather severe. And I remember Colleen saying, they're starting to talk a lot about preparation. And I think maybe we ought to do some preparations. Well, what they were advising, and there were many companies that were coming out with these earthquake kits and various things to do in case of a severe earthquake. And if your home was destroyed or you had to get out or leave, what would you do? Well, a lot of people suggested various things, and Micah and Colleen came up with the idea of getting a couple of very large trash cans. And you were supposed to store your things out of your dwelling because obviously you would get out of your house if that collapsed. And you'd have it somewhere near but safe from the elements and everything. So we did get 2 trash cans, and Colleen and Micah took care of their own up at the big house. And we filled them with things that we were advised to fill, like canned goods, soups, and things that you didn't have to heat up or perhaps could heat up. Also, you would have some kind of a little cooking kit, butane little kit of some sort. And I think we have one out in the shed that's ages old. And canned goods, things you could eat, little plastic forks, paper towels. In Colleen's case, 2 of the kids, Shannon and Brendan, were babies and toddlers, so she had diapers. She filled her trash cans with diapers and kids' clothes and things. And we put blankets and I don't think any clothes for some reason or other, but I remember putting a couple of very warm down blankets and pillows and whatever, things that we had to do. Well, the idea was that you would shelter nearby. Well, I've talked about our shed before. That's where all my tubs are stored with all my goodies out there. And it's quite large, and it's built into the side of another hill. Now we are on sort of a plateau. I told you we're up high on a side of a hill, and then there's another hill that goes up behind the cottage. And our shed is attached to that, and the shed itself, not the cottage, but the shed, is built into the hillside. And the construction of the shed is all these cement blocks. And so it's quite strong, and it would make a great kind of a shelter for anything. So we figured, well, that's where we would all go, in there, get all the tubs and everything out. That's where we would shelter and stay for however long. Of course, you weren't expected to get in your cars and go anywhere because being on these faults, we are on what they call the San Andreas Fault and various other faults that come all the way down through California. And we have experienced several smaller earthquakes since we've been here where you notice things rattle and whatever, but praise the Lord, no biggies since we've been here. We were living in our family home 5 minutes from here during a big earthquake in the 80s. Mikey and Colleen were in junior high, and we did have to get out of the house. The house shook, the cars were going up and down, and there was severe damage in some of the towns. We lost things, fell out of kitchen cabinets and whatever, but no severe damage, and everybody was fine, thank heavens. So that was our only time of preparing to evacuate, but it was different because it was an earthquake. In this case, when I spoke about leaving, and I did enjoy a lot of your suggestions, and many of you pretty much thought of the same things I did. Had a few of those memorabilia things like my bluebird of happiness and my mother's false teeth in the silver jar. But most of you, one person had a load of stuff that would probably fill a U-Haul that I don't know how you'd have to get out with all of that. But at this point and at our age, I doubt if Moosey and I would grab much besides ourselves and Shamu. So that's my rabbit hole story of our preparation for an earthquake. Now, you ask me the question, is it still there? No. It stayed there for, I bet, 8 to 10 years. Honestly, I think it was that long. Every once in a while I'd check. Of course, the trash cans were out up against the side of the shed and covered up, and they were very firmly encased so that the rains and things didn't bother anything. And everything was great in there until my Mikey, who is very into expiration dates on things, said, get those canned goods and things out of there. You'll get botulism and whatever if you ever eat them anyway. So at one point, I guess after about 10 years, we did get rid of a lot of that. And everything else, believe it or not, was in perfect condition. No mildew, no nothing, but they were very safe within those. Those were good trash cans, whatever they were. So that was our only experience of real hard preparation for something. But thank you all for your suggestions. And I guess we still stand. And I will probably still go back to that bag that I started. I can't leave everything in there now because I find myself rooting through my little go bag of the other night, getting out some jewelry and what else. I have to get my purse out of there, and my medications were down in there. So I've got to think of some other way to do this. However, we are still here. I think I might have mentioned that we were thinking about possibly going to Red Lobster for dinner. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday, but of course that plan stopped. Mostly we still have to think about that. You know, we want to go and have our lobster, which I love, with the butter dripping down my chin. I'm looking forward to that, but we won't think about that for now. But watching the TV today, we do see that it looks like we have to still be alert for the next couple of days, at least through Wednesday, and this is only Sunday. So the winds are supposed to be kicking up on Tuesday, and we'll have to take care of a few things out there. But hopefully we will be safe, as all the children are. And our son Bill has notified us that they are here and they're safe. They were on the Palisades fire for 2 nights and had 1 night of rest last night, I believe. And we're praying for all our grandsons and for our son Billy involved in all this, plus all the fires. They're doing a fantastic job. And of course, our prayers and love to all those who have lost everything and all the wonderful people that are donating and involving themselves in helping these people. Thank you so much, my friends, for all your caring and all your thoughts and prayers. I did realize that we had a huge family out there, and you are wonderful. Thank you so much. Lucy and I are safe, as all of our family is right now. I don't know what is in store for the next several days. At some point, a little while ago, Moosey said that it looked like it was going to be a little worse as time went on, with high winds on Tuesday and Wednesday. So it isn't over. And evacuations are still going on. Flames are still high, and we still need all your prayers. I love you all. I'll try and keep you updated. Thank you again so much, and God bless us all.